How y'all doing today? We're in the midst of deer season here. Gun season's going to be starting here in Georgia in a few days, and well, I'm starting to get a lot more questions on the JX3 Hybrid saddle. One of the questions I always get is when I point out that it is a pack frame. People ask me all the time, "Can you really pack a deer out with it?" So today I don't have a deer to pack out, but I do have to go put more feed in front of a camera setup I have about 600 yards down through my Clearcut here. So I'm going to show you a little something today. What I have is my JX3 right here with a 40-pound bag of biologic BCP feed and tracked it. That's an awesome feed if you want to put out for a camera, if you want to, or whatever. But I'll eventually do another video on that feed. But that 40-pound bag here on my property will last less than 2 days or 3 days at the most. All right, as you can see, I got my saddle laid out. This is the seat back, or the back, that's the seat portion. I have my extra saddlebags there. I keep my tethers in and all. My saddlebags up here that carry my small gear I need. And then I have my load hauler straps, and I have them undone at this point. But all you do is, when you bone out your deer and you get it in the game bag, you take it right there on the seat back. Take your load hauling strap, come up, and they attach. It's a J hook. It attaches on the loop that's on the bottom of the buckles for the leg straps. That's one hook. Bring up the second. Hook it in. Tighten them down. And this is the strap that goes across the middle. It's a J hook also. Goes into that loop there. You get the then you tighten it down. I pulled it out of the little elastic keeper there, but I take my saddlebags that's on the side of my webbing that hang down by my side. I put them up on top of it instead of putting it in the bag or where they normally go in the bottom, and I set it up. You notice the seat is not going to reach the seat hook. That's okay. We don't have to have it like that. That's why the leg straps come in handy. Take your leg straps, you come up and lock them in. Pull them snug. Get your other one. It was tangled on my belt. Same thing. Take the leg strap, hook it into the belt, pull it tight. If you need it tighter, you can put pressure on your seat and pull it up and cinch them down. I have a 40-pound bag of feed inside my JX3 frame. You might say, well, 40 pounds isn't that very much, but if you're talking about boned out meat, a 120-pound deer, which is an average sized doe or a big doe around here, you bone her out, she's roughly going to be about 40 pounds of meat. So that's about the same amount of weight that you'll be carrying on that. And then to put it on, you basically just reach and get your shoulder straps, put it on as normal, and I go ahead and cinch my straps up a little. My belt is a little twisted. Put your waist belt on and get a final adjustment on your straps. I got 40 pounds of weight in the back of this saddle, so with the saddle and all, I'm carrying close to 50 pounds with all the gear that's still stacked in it. I know I'm over 50 pounds, and it's a whole lot easier carrying it like this than it is carrying the bag on my shoulder like I usually do going down here. But let's head on down through this Clearcut here. We'll go roughly about 600-yard walk, and let's go put this out. I had this trail pretty open until the hurricane came through and knocked a lot of stuff down. I gotta come back and re-clear it. I just noticed I don't have a whole lot of battery left on this battery, and I didn't bring my spare with me today. So I'm going to have to hurry up on this video. This is my personal property at the house. I bought this house 3 years ago now. This is my third season on it. Pretty much got it figured out now. It's not uncommon for me to come out here and see 15 to 20 deer every morning. I pass a lot of those up, but I am going to have to thin out some does this year. We got way too many on this property. But I got a couple of good 8-pointers coming into this camera. And one of them started coming out during the daylight yesterday. So hopefully we'll be able to get him for the end of the season. As you can see, this is extremely thick. Just a regular old Georgia Piedmont Clearcut. I believe this is 4 years old now. So the next year or two should be when it really gets good for the big deer. It makes it really hard. It starts getting really hard to hunt it. I don't normally hunt over bait very much, but when you're in situations like this, especially using a trad bow, you got to have them come in and stop where you need them to. But where I'm putting this up at is out of range for a trad bow. But my muzzleloader It's in range a bit. You see that tree line over there? That's my property line. And those are some huge white oaks over there that are dropping pretty heavy. And we may have just jumped a deer. But this trail I have this camera sitting next to is the main trail coming from those oaks back to my Clearcut for their bedding area. Alright, as you can see, we just did about a 650 yard hike with a 40-pound bag of feed in the back of the JX3. I'm a little bit sweating, just a little bit, and a little bit winded because it is kind of warm out here this afternoon. But I'm not sweating near as bad or near as winded as I am if I try to carry it on my shoulder. And I would have had to stop 3 or 4 different times to switch arms, switch shoulders if I was carrying it on my shoulder. So the JX3 is a phenomenal pack, and that's why when I tell people about this saddle system, I don't tell them it's an awesome saddle. I tell them it's the only complete mobile hunting system on the market, because it is a saddle that you can climb a tree and hunt. You can get on in almost any tree that you can with any other saddle. If you can't find a tree to get in, or if you're scouting, you come up on a field edge and there's nowhere to get on a tree, but that's where you need to hunt. It takes 30 seconds to convert this over to a ground seat. You can sit on the ground, stay dry, and be comfortable. And when you do make your kill and you get your animal boned out, put it in a game bag, throw it in the back of the pack, strap it down like I just did this bag of feed, and take off back to camp or your truck, instead of having to walk all the way back to camp and get your frame pack or get your cart or get your sled or get something else and then come all the way back in and deal with your animal. This is all complete. Take your knife with you, take your game bags with you, and once you make a kill, you can hang it up or you can bone it out on the ground, put the meat in the bag, strap it down, you're off and gone. That's why it is superior to any other saddle on the market. It's more comfortable, it's more versatile, and anything you can do in one of those other saddles, you can do in this, but you can't do half of what you can do with this one, with those other saddles. Go to JX3Outdoors.com, get yours today, and use the discount code ST23 to save you a little money.